Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jackass here. Um, Welcome back to BioShock 2. So I was streaming just a little while ago. Um, and I was checking out the beginning of this as well as the Protector Trials. Hello. However, I didn't realize that the game wasn't really being captured because it was just showing like OBS and stuff. Because sometimes, and this is what I had assumed, sometimes when I have a window set to capture a game, sometimes if I'm not really focusing on that window, then it will show OBS instead. Like if I'm looking at OBS, sometimes it won't like actually show the game. It'll instead show OBS. So that's what I thought was happening. Like I thought once I was focusing on the game, it would be fine. Like it would supersede, and then it would just show me and the game playing. Apparently, that is not what happened at all. So, that previous stream is completely worthless, basically. Aside from me just aside from my little commentary. As well as also learning that I didn't care for the Protector Trials. It's not something I would enjoy very much. I'm sure that's, bread and butter for somebody, but not for me, I confess. So, it's perfectly fine if that's the cup of tea for everybody else. That's the term I was looking for, not bread and butter. Cup of tea, slightly different metaphor, but still having to do with food. Anyway, hair. I'm gonna tuck this back. I really need a haircut. Some of my hair is just like it gets in my mouth or it just keeps covering my eyes, but what are you going on about? I do not know this song. Anyway. I hope it shows the cutscene at the beginning still. Okay, it does. $1968.
Subject Sigma is approaching Minerva's den. He must not reach the thinker. Detonate the tunnel!
The Thinker. Some time later. If I could keep you as a pet, I would call you Peach. Sigma on my gauntlet. So something I had mentioned at the later on was or last my last stream attempt was how. So Aiden, the guy who's my friend who's who gifted this game among others to me, was saying how the Greek letters and how they're used mathematically have something to do with the plot line for the different alpha series. Like delta in mathematics has to do with like rate of change and stuff like that, of like rates and whatnot. Like use it with like derivatives and whatnot. And from what I remember from my calculus days. This one, sigma, has to do with summation, which, not to humble brag or anything, but just think of it as just because just shows how much I love math, right? Just because I love like fiddling around and stuff like that. If there's one little claim to fame I can say is that in my just dabbling with math, I actually discovered the summation formula, but didn't actually know it already existed. But, I should have known, right? Because, well, I can't imagine just like, becoming a doctor in math, or just, because you basically have to come up with something original, and like, watching like A Beautiful Mind, that was like his struggle is, and he finally found his dissertation and disproving something Adam Smith came up with or whatever, but which Adam Smith, that name in the context of Rapture, that's kind of funny. But anyway, summation has to do with, or at least the summation formula, any string of numbers, just like adding them together. It's like factorial, except instead of multiplying, it's adding. Except it's not necessarily from, well, you still could, you still could do, like, factorial of, like, just from, not all the way down to 1, but, like, to a certain number. You would just have to do what you do in summation, which is just minus, and then the difference. But anyway, so he had remembered correctly that this character, subject sigma, like the Greek letter in question, did have to do with summation. He did correctly remember that. However, Aiden misremembered which Greek letter was, and he thought it was theta. And I was telling him, no, theta has to do with angles and degrees and stuff like that. So yeah, okay. So he remembered correctly what the Greek letter in question of your character has to do with in mathematics, but he forgot what it actually was. Anyway. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that, yeah. Pythagorean theorem works in 3D. Fun fact, as somebody pointed out, what the Scarecrow, like the Scarecrow's in The Wizard of Oz, when he like gets his brain, like he quotes the Pythagorean theorem, except he doesn't, because he says any isosceles triangle, like the sum of the square of two of the square of the hypotenuse of any isosceles triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the remaining sides. But that's not what the Pythagorean theorem is. It's any... The only thing that's wrong is he said isosceles triangle. No, it's the right triangle. So... yeah, that's unfortunate. But perhaps that was the assumption at the time, and then people realized, wait a minute, no, this only works for right triangles, or Or I don't know, it might be one of those instances in movies where they don't actually do their homework enough. Yeah, and I saw, but see, I can see that's part of where he got confused, is that some right triangles are isosceles triangles. So, you know, I mean, you know, let's say you have, you know, an isosceles triangle that's also a right triangle with, and they're 2 inches. So that would be 4 plus 4 equals the square root of, or excuse me, it would be c squared equals 8. So that would be the square root, c equals the square root of 8. Or 2 times the square root of 2 would be c. An isosceles triangle can have a hypotenuse, but it must be a right triangle as well. So,
hello, Mr. Sigma? Can you hear me?
Mr. Sigma.
The name's Porter. Charles Milton Porter. Doc Tenenbaum tells me you're here to help us get the Thinker out of Rapture. It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth doing ever is. You should be able to get inside through an airlock.
Right. That's why I'm saying what he said is wrong, because he said of any isosceles triangle, but that would be correct if the isosceles triangle in question is a right triangle, but he said any isosceles triangle, which is not correct. At least that's what I've understood. Like, you know, isosceles just means there are 2 sides that are equilateral. So you can have a right triangle like that. But, you know. Oh, there you go. I guess that is true. Yeah, technically, because he said hypotenuse. Okay, there we go. We saved the day. or you did, you know. But you saved the day again, Woody. Oh, hey, you're playing War Thunder. Okay. And if you're right, you know. Yeah, we got a new character. You are right, and he is right. They cannot both be right. You know, you are also right. Got a slug. Mr. Porter. RCC? Oh, yeah. Rapture Central Computing. Yeah, I know. Oh, good. Yay. Now, I did say, like, when I was playing, like, the Protector Trials, I was like, you know, I kind of wonder if I'm going to be playing as Mark Meltzer. It gave no indication of that, but, like, that does make me wonder. Well, wait, I don't think there is a way for Subject Sigma to be Alpha Series, because the Alpha Series were there long before Mark Meltzer was in Rapture. And he became a Big Daddy, but he wasn't an Alpha Series one. Minerva's Den with statues of what appears to be Neptune. Or Poseidon, take your pick.
Minerva's Den has been cut off from the rest of Rapture for some time, but not cut off from splicing. Don't let your guard down. The den's gone dark, but if you can reset the local power relay, I'll be able to get the juice flowing from here.
I've got telekinesis and a drill. Okay. Well, I'll admit, it is good to be back, I had mentioned in the failed stream attempt that, I don't hate the ending of I don't hate the ending of BioShock 2. I can accept it, it's just, at first, it really just, like, caught me off guard, left me feeling just a bit like, what? Whatever, but, after verbally processing it a bit and getting maybe some clarification, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's still not the best, but, I guess I can accept it. Just the thing I'm not really the biggest fan of is, Eleanor's language, which I guess she's trying to make him feel better or something, like when she tells him love is just a chemical. Which, to adapt a line from the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, when they're like, this guy's talking about stars, who he is a star, actually, and, I think Eustace or something mentions how, stars in our world are just like a big ball of flaming gas. And he goes, son, even in your world, son, that is what a star is made of, but it is not what a star is. So to adapt that line, it's like, she says love is just a chemical. It's like, that is what love is made of, like, physically, like what it manifests as, but that is not what love is, And then, like, I don't know, they just talk about utopia or something, and it's just like, it's a little, yeah, something like that, yeah, and then that's also why, yeah, but, yeah, we got something very different, but, ah, well. Spotted me. What's up with this, these Christmas lights over here? Your link of the chain. Andrew Ryan.
Let me be the first to congratulate you on the founding of Rapture Central Computing. The great chain only grows stronger with each pair of hands laid upon it. I trust that you and I will choose to pull Rapture in the same direction.
Yeah, the year is 1968, and yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, it was I. When did the first computer, like, when did computers first become a thing? Because I know we had them in the 60s. Obviously, they weren't small or anything like that, but they were, they were big things. But I do know computers were a thing in the 60s. I mean, heck, that's part of how we did, like, the Apollo program, right? What's the dollars? $1945 was the first general purpose electronic digital computer? Maniac. Really? That early? Wow. So, like, just as the war is ending? Amazing. Clendon Robotics. Rapture Central Computing. Airtight Archives. Minerva's Den. Rapture's Technology Center. No. Is he like shaking a fist? That's funny.
Hello there. Welcome
Mine.
to Minerva's Den, the home of Rapture's
Minerva.
high technology.
I guess that checks out why it's called Minerva's Den, because Minerva, wisdom and stuff like that. So yeah. I feel like there are a number of things like that, like, we just, like, create this technology and we don't actually ever get to use it. Oh, hey, look, ones and zeros. What was that? Colin Fogel, Ronaldo, John Devin Sinclair, Brandon Pham. Yeah, that would be, like, quite the feat, right? Keep out. What's all this mathematical mumbo-jumbo? Probability. N plus 1. Delta P. That's psi, or not psi. Upsilon equals. The solution to this equation is keep out. Odds in favor. May the odds be ever in your favor. Sigma. Oh, I thought that was a real person at first. I'd be curious to know.
What steps into Minerva's den? Porter's newest toy? He wants the Tinker for himself. But you see, old friend, the machine has chosen me.
The Thinker. So I was assuming the Thinker was a person, but now... Is the Thinker a robot? Order equals trader. Airtight archives. Send receive store. Fast, trusted, secure. Located in Minerva's den. Yeah. Stop intruders in their tracks. Beats Fontaine every time. Huh. So we have, like... Yeah, you know, I don't think we really explored, like, places where the robots were made. Like, you know, the turret bots and... or all that stuff. I don't think we really explored a place like any kind of factory or anything of that nature, like where those come from, where they're made. So they're McClendon. So there's like kind of like a Clendon Robotics, right? So it's almost like a, I mean, competition, I think, is really more accurate, but it's like an arms race almost between Fontaine Futuristics and McClendon Robotics. Interesting. Also, beats Fontaine every time. I don't know about that. Have you seen what the electric plasmid can do? Surgical robotics spot ad. Surgical precision. Laser bots from McClendon Robotics. Oh dear. That guy looks like he's wielding an incinerate, but we got laser robots now. Oh boy. Get 'em. Let them run, they won't get far. Tip-top security from McClendon Robotics. Got another equation, but I can't read it. I can't make that out. Central computing. Huh. That's like, yeah, that's that famous Thinker statue. See Rodin's The Thinker. Only $5. Vita chamber. Whoa, what's up with the texture on that door? Gonna loop back around, I think. Oh, now it looks fine. Huh. Mine. I think that says property of Reed Wall. Huh. Right. Because, yeah, there was like Minerva, but then he just like writes over it mine, like the first 4 letters of Minerva. So, bro is an orange lantern, or should I say the orange lantern?
Reed Wall. He and I founded Rapture Central Computing together, but the greedy bastard pushed me out years ago. The splicers, the security. He pulls the strings in Minerva's den now.
Well, there's a theta. Sigma theta. Minus. For a little context, for those that don't know, the Orange Lanterns, from the, like, you know, Green Lantern universe, the Orange Lanterns in particular were, or are, powered by greed and avarice. They're very powerful, but because they are powered by greed and avarice, they tend to not really get along with each other, and as a result, they ended up fighting each other, and now, or at least there's like only one Orange Lantern, or at least for a while there was only one named Larfleeze, who's basically kind of like Gollum, except he calls the Orange Lantern ring battery thing for his ring, like calls it his shiny or whatever, but that's not powered.
Look for the power relay. It's a metal console on the balcony. Reset it so I can get the lights back on for you.
Alright, will do. Lancer.
Look at you, Sigma. You think that Porter is your ally, but the Thinker knows better. The Thinker knows.
What would Rapture be like without automation? From self-opening doors...
Like a laser weapon? Spider Splicer.
The power is rerouted. That should tip things in our favor. Head up to my office in the executive wing. I've got something you'll need. Hurry now.
The picture makes him look like a judge or something, but maybe that's like a doctor's robe or something. I've got a laser weapon. Who'd have thunk it? Heat hypo. Can use this now. Normals? What do you mean? You like 6'7". That was a little too close for comfort. The Thinker's potential.
Porter and I are partners, but he's wasting that machine. In off hours, I've been using it to predict the outcomes of baseball games, and it is incredibly accurate. Apply such equations to Rapture's markets. This thing is the money-making grail. But Porter, I have heard them feeding it recordings of his dead wife. The fool wants to turn the Thinker into a person. I could not imagine a sadder fate for such a perfect machine.
What is this, Mathria all over again? Or, Caroline Johnson? Bro wants to use the Thinker as a Palantir or something like that, you know? It was like kind of implied, sort of, but like, yeah, they didn't really touch up on it that much in The Return of the King, the movie. But there is this aspect of, like, using a Palantir where, like, when you fill your mind so much with knowledge of the future, and, like Palantirs have this, also, just have this tendency to ensnare their users. Like, they will, like, they make you just transfixed on it, or like just obsess over them and whatnot. And Denethor, like, it's not really, like, it is shown in the extended cut that he did have a Palantir, but the thing is, you kind of assume, without context, you kind of assume that it's just the same Palantir Gandalf has been hauling around. But in the book, it makes it clear that he has one of the Palantirs. And the thing is, he's just seen so much of what could happen, and that he's just so darn full of despair, and that's like, that's... And like, his mind is just basically gone. He's just imprinted on that picture of the future and everything, and so he's just like, it cripples him basically in mind and soul. Yeah, you see. Watch out for security cameras. Avoid security cameras. Destroy them or hack them. Right. Right, yeah, he's like staring into the Palantir, and like he's like but like Sauron has got the remote. Basically, so take control of Raptor security and you're on for the loss. Okay. Cool.
Trick the security system. Divert bots, turrets, and cameras to attack where you choose. Send friendly bots on errands.
Evolve today. Oh, darn it. No! There we go. Yeah, I've kind of found, just from experience, this plasmid isn't really my favorite, but, Eve gained from coffee. I guess so. Okay. Nice. So that does shed a little more light on the... That does shed a little more light on like some of the plasmids and stuff, or tonics, having to do with machines and turrets and stuff, like this one in particular, because there seems to be this competition between the plasmids and robots. That kind of reminds me of something else, but I can't think of what it is. But and you know the robots like ads or whatever, they're like, hey, we're better than the plasmids, you know, works better than the plasmids or whatever, and then Fontaine Futuristics is like, well, hey, we got a plasmid that can just deal with your robots, you know. But you picked up your first gene tonic. Tonics are passive abilities that have a variety of helpful effects. Unlike plasmids, you never have to activate tonics. They take effect as soon as you equip them. Right. Sports boost. Oh yeah, it's the one that makes me move a little faster. In today's dangerous times, it never hurts to be a little faster. Remember, you don't have to outrun the crazy splicer, just your neighbor. I think I've heard something just... It reminds me of like this one line, or this one like meme or something I saw. It was like, it was mean, but it was funny. It was like, be nice to fat people. they're gonna be the ones that get eaten first. Or something, or whatever, like, okay. I must have had like plenty of. Well, I guess I did have a. I mean, my system, my kidneys are just really working. So I need to hit the restroom again already. So I will be right back. the Thinker.
Mr. Ryan hired me to build a computer that could keep an entire city running on time. The Rapture Operational Data Interpreter Network. Folks call it the
Rodin.
We've harnessed the power of Adam even in this, allowing the mainframe to process data at the speed of thought. In other words, it thinks for us. Yes. And with the completion of the independent reasoning processor, it may finally think for itself. If Turing could see me now.
Oh, Turing, like Alan Turing. The guy who cracked the Enigma during World War II. There's a movie about him. Benedict Cumberbatch plays him. There's this other actor whose name I don't know, but he's like a pretty good actor. He's not a pretty good actor. He's a very good actor, but I've only seen like a snippet or two from it. My mom told me what the movie is called, but I don't remember what it is. I think she did anyway. Man, it's something I wanted to check out. I do have this board game called Turing's Machine. Naturally based on the. It's just this. It's kind of like the board game Mastermind, but on steroids. And the thing is, you could play it and you don't even say a word to people. But yeah, you're just cracking puzzles and all that. But yeah, I've been wanting to check that movie out, even though I don't really watch movies that much anymore. But anyway, I'm just going in circles. Exit. Alright, let's go. No, okay. 20 Adam. I don't think I can get anything, but yeah. Tenenbaum can provide you with a bonus tonic if you complete the Protector trials. Master Protector tonic. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. I like really powerful tonics, but I don't like them that much.
Those vacuum bots sucked up all sorts of things before they went on the fritz. Crack one open, and you might find something you can use.
Money! Of course. Makes sense to me. Reminds me of this one Russian cartoon that... I see. Reminds me of this one Russian cartoon we would watch, this cartoon series we would we would watch in Russian class. I think it was called Happy... I think the name translated to Happy Balloons or Balloon Friends or something like that, but they were all like these they were all the same size, but they were all like supposed to be different animals, but they were all like spherical, basically. Their bodies were spherical, but they were all different animals. Like you had one who was a pig, another that was a bunny, another that was a hedgehog. Like Lab, the snippets he showed of like Hedge Wars or something, like the hedgehog one, I think he basically looked like that, except he had like these big glasses. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so two of the characters, like one of which I think is supposed to be like a moose or something, and then another who's a penguin. And the penguin is they're both inventive, but the penguin in particular is an engineer. But what's funny, and this is funny because like this is where I discovered that there are accents in other languages as well, which of course you're like, oh yeah, why wouldn't there be? But yeah, this penguin character, like, they're all speaking in Russian, right? But he's an engineer, and he's apparently, his first language apparently is German, so he's speaking Russian with a German accent. And occasionally he'll throw in a German line every now and again. He'll be like, "Das ist fantastisch," or something like that. And but anyway, they don't want to. They're supposed to be cleaning up and stuff, but they don't want to clean up. They just want to I don't know, just be all zen or something. So they instead take the time to invent a robot. They instead take the time to invent a robot vacuum cleaner. Ah? Like the penguin guy in particular is the engineer, so he actually makes the darn thing. But the moose, I think, is a programmer, so he makes the program to actually put in the vacuum. But anyway, that was a very long-winded way of alright. That was a very long-winded way of explaining things, but the slowness. Are you just referring to the fact that I'm not getting to the... I'm not getting to the game. But yes, as you might have figured out, or you basically, yeah, sound like you figured it out, but naturally it doesn't go well. Because, like, the vacuum is doing its thing, and, as it's supposed to be, right? But then it starts noticing, like, and it's honestly kind of a scary episode. like, compared to all the other ones, it's a scary episode. But, like, it starts noticing that some, like, the two characters, as they're just sitting around, they're, like, I don't know, like, tossing stuff away, like, discarding, like, I don't know, wrappers, or, I forget what it is, but they're discarding something, and then it starts to notice that, and then it's like, these guys are dirty. Or they're causing more dirt, or whatever. So then it starts going after their things that they're using, and then starts to go after them, and whatnot. So, yeah.
I have a question.
thought there was another, I thought I saw another, oh, there it is. I knew there was something. Thinker knows. The predictive equation. Well, talk about numerology on steroids, am I right? It reminds me of something else that I can't put my finger on it exactly, but it's reminding me of something. Finding absolute truth in a machine. It's quite ironic, really. It's like, if you... Like, the only way you can explain to me that a machine is going to give you something that you didn't already know, like, is if it, like... I mean, sure, there are some instances where you, like, make something and then, like, you realize it worked out a lot more than you thought it did. Like, I have moments like that, where I put something together and I'm like, oh, this works here as well, like, that's just really cool and whatnot, but, like, it wasn't the actual art itself, just thinking and coming up with a truth or whatever that I didn't see. No, it's just, no, it was just something that was already there, that, now, perhaps you could argue I had a little help, shall we say. But it wasn't, it's not, yeah, the creation itself is not talking back to the creator or whatnot. It's just like, that's, like, tell me how that makes sense. Like, he's looking for, that's like, that really is like fleshing out, just like, you know, parts where, you know, like in scripture, where it's just like, you know, talking about like people just fashioning, like, you know, idols and stuff, and then they just, like, bow down to them and whatnot. It's just like, you just created this thing you created this thing that, you know, you're claiming to get absolute truth from, or, you know, and whatnot. It's just like, it's nonsensical. It makes... But anyway, as I was saying earlier as well, it's like the only way you could convince me that any of that makes sense at all is if, I don't know, the thinker got possessed by something. But, yes, exactly. Like, you know, laws of nature dictate, or imply there is a lawgiver. Even works on electronics. Keep water out with never wet waterproofing. Place for everything, and everything in its place. Need this. You can't do that. It's anarchy. I'm sorry. That just reminded me of this thing from Big Hero 6. Great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it, but just, you have this one character whose name is, you have this one character who he is so particular and precise, and that comes out in his personality in other ways as well. Like, he is such a rule breaker, and he's so nervous and scared of, and whatnot, and but, you know, they're all nerds and whatnot, and his specialty is laser making, interestingly enough, and, you know, he's very precise, and, like, you see his coffee mug, it shows, like, on the inside, like, the layer, like, coffee, and then creamer, and then sugar, or something like that, even that, or whatever, and, like, you know, the main character is, like, playing with one of his tools, or whatever, and he's just, like, and he takes it and puts it back. He's like, I have a system. There's a place for everything in its place. And then and then another gal who's like kind of the opposite of things, just like, it's like, need this, like, grabs. It's like, yeah, you can't do this. It's anarchy, whatever. And and then later, like, they're being chased by the bad guy, and it's like, why are we stopped? The light's red. or you know, he's like, he makes this turn. It's like, did you just use your blinker? It's like, you have to indicate your turn. That's the law. It's like they're being chased and he's using his blinker. Also, his nickname is, the name he has in the movie is Wasabi. That's not his real name, but that's his nickname. And you find out why. Like, he's like storming out with like a spoon or whatever, and he just goes, it's like, wasabi? He's like, you know, I spilled wasabi on my shirt one time, people! One time! You know, it's like, because he's so careful about everything, but he managed to do that, like, once, and now that's like, your nickname is Wasabi now. But, I know, it is slow. Tool dispenser? Huh. Ow. You got the hack tool. Nice.
That hack tool should come in handy. Head back up to my office.
Cool. Oh, I can't carry anymore. Okay. I was like, why isn't this working? Think so, yeah. Is that the kid? Is that the one where, like, the kid, like, his expletive of choice is oink? or whatever, and they're like, did you just say oink? Hackers delay your body converts the alternate current from a hacked machine into a powerful healing agent. Hack and heal. Awesome sauce. Now, of course, like, don't get me wrong. I said, don't get me wrong, okay? The best de la plant. The what? Oh, okay, here we go.
Minerva's den is mine. You think you can hack your way to the Tinker? You're welcome to try.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. But I was just saying, I mean, don't get me wrong with, like, mathematics. I mean... I am a firm believer...
Depends on the Thinker every day. Dispatching trains, connecting your phone calls, and keeping the air fresh. The Thinker.
Like, I believe, like, you know, the language of God, as it were, is found in mathematics. Just because of, just like, it just shows how everything works. Just like, you know, God made a logical universe, you know. There are things he put in it, you know. I remember something Albert Einstein once said was, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. It's like, well, yeah, that's just because it's not just it's not throwing spaghetti, you know. It ain't okay. I'm gonna use a term that, you know, people use to make a mockery of God, like the flying spaghetti monster. But it's like, okay. You know, it's like the, you know, between either the flying spaghetti monster or throwing spaghetti against the wall. seeing what sticks. But, you know, again, that's not really, you know. But I just started thinking of it because I was like, you know, it's like with all this, you know, all these laws in nature that, you know, makes so much beautiful sense, and, you know, are so intricate in detail, and, like, just, again, like, it makes sense. It's comprehensible. Like, we can discover how it works and stuff, you know. But, like, so, like, you know, all that gets put together by something illogical. It's like, I don't think so. But all that is to say, you know, in a certain extent, it seems like that is what, you know, it's like there's a bit of truth in everything. But if it's mixed with enough poison or mixed with enough corruption, then it will...
Use your hack tool to spring open the door. That crack in the window looks big enough to get a dart through.
Excuse me, begging your pardon, but I'm in the middle of a sermon right now. I'm not gonna... Sorry. Like... So, in some sense, it seems like he's the part of the reason he is obsessing over like the Thinker and stuff is because they actually like they're stumbling upon something, like he's stumbling upon some truth in like mathematics, like he's stumbling upon that, but the thing is he's got the author completely wrong. Shall we say. But yeah, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. I think, yeah, that is part of why I think there is such a war on math as well. And also part of why I don't really have patience for people who say they hate math. Just because math is objective. Like, you know, there's this war on objective truth. It's like, no. There is no such thing as objective truth. There's only my truth. But then math challenges that and says, no, there is objective truth. And people would be arguing, well, you know, 2 plus 2 only equals 4 because we say it does. It's like, no, we're just putting words to something that already is true. Like, sure, you could say that 2 plus 2 equals 4 because we say it does, but that's only because we speak English, you know, not because we invented the rule. We're just putting words to something that already exists. So, But yeah, that seems to be what's going on. Just like him, just obsessing over it, and just, you know, he's stumbled upon a nugget of absolute truth, but he's getting the author completely wrong. So that's, you know,
Wall splicers haven't gotten into my office thanks to the Thinker's security. I'm giving you top-level access now. All right? Beginning scan.
Scanning. Designation. Sigma. Please come in.
Hi?
Sorry I can't be there to meet you in person. You've seen the state of the den these days. It's the Thinker that's important now, though. I need you to get to the computer core and print a hard copy of the Thinker's machine code. Core access is in operations. There's an Ops access punch card hidden in the compartment under my desk there. Grab the card and head for Ops.
I'm just thinking now, this, I think it was like the 2011, like, beauty queens of, like, all the different states and stuff, like, for Miss America or whatnot. Eye-catching panel. And they were asked a simple question, which is, should math be taught in schools? Now, unfortunately, I mean, well, stereotypes come from somewhere. But these bimbos, most of them gave really, like, head-scratching answers. Only one of them was intelligent. And only one of them answered, like, it was Miss Vermont. And she was like, yes, it's math. I'm sorry, is this a joke? but somebody, one of them, like, was like making this a like a biblical argument of why it's like it's not what the Bible says. Like, what are you talking about? There's plenty of math in the Bible. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, honey, no, you're just making, oh, no. Talking about stereotypes, you're enforcing this like the misconception, I should say, not really stereotype, that just Christians are just stupid. Oh crap. Oh, nice. Pretty early. Operations access punch card, 100 laser cell.
Potter's time is done, friend. And now you collude with this traitor to steal the Thinker away from me? Sigma must be removed from the equation.
Thinker, deploy office defenses.
Uh-oh. No! Crud. Alright, where does that put me? Oh. Somehow I just got my calculator out. Speaking of math. LOL. I wonder if I press continue, will this take me right to the DLC? Minerva's dead. Okay, here we go. Well, I guess to be fair, it's actually not that far away because I was just talking so much.
Mr. Ryan hired me to build a computer that could keep an entire city running on time. The Rapture Operational Data Interpreter Network. Folks call it the Thinker for short. We've harnessed the power of Adam even in this, allowing the mainframe to process data at the speed of thought. In other words, it thinks for us. Yes. And with the completion of the independent reasoning processor, it may finally think for itself. If Turing could see me now.
Well, it is DLC after all, so you know it's not going to be a full-length game, but you know.
Those vacuum bots sucked up all sorts of things before they went on the fritz. Crack one open, and you might find something you can use.
With me?
I meant to mention this earlier, but the voice actor for Porter kind of sounds like somebody. Like I feel like I've heard it. I feel like I've heard him before. Could be wrong, but
chambers spiral out. They touch everything. Hidden within them lies a predictive algorithm for you, for me, for the destiny of the base allele to the stretch of a galaxy's arm. The thinker is destined to give birth to that crystalline equation, which determines all. I thought I knew its true purpose before. I thought Porter was the fool. Now I see. I was the fool all along.
What's that, I was wanting to make a joke, but unfortunately I don't remember what it's called, so joke is ruined. But what's the name of that sequence where it's like found in nature a lot of the time? Like the something... It's like where you have like one box or rectangle and then like it builds on another one and then a bigger one and a bigger one, and just like the shape is just like spirals out. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
That hack tool should come in handy. Head back up to my office.
Fibonacci, yes, thank you. Yeah, the Fibonacci sequence. I'm like, it's like, it spirals out like in a predictive algorithm. And it's like, oh, so you just discovered the Fibonacci sequence? I mean, that's already existed. Okay. But... Which I will say, the Fibonacci sequence does cover a lot of, like flowers and stuff, or other things.
It's mine. You think you can hack your way to the thinker?
Forget everything.
You're welcome to try.
I forget everything that it actually encompasses, but
Rapture depends on the thinker every day. The thinker, the most helpful machine in Rapture.
nice. They tell me what does what.
Use your hack tool to spring open the door. That crack in the window looks big enough to get a dart through.
Please don't be a bad guy, Porter. Well, he's friends with Tenenbaum, it seems. So, yeah. I guess that means I can trust him.
Wolf splicers haven't gotten into my office thanks to the Thinker's security. I'm giving you top-level access now. All right? Beginning scan.
Scanning. Designation. Sigma. Please come in.
Sorry I can't be there to meet you in person. You've seen the state of the den these days. It's the Thinker that's important now, though. I need you to get to the computer core and print a hard copy of the Thinker's machine code. Core accesses and operations. There's an Ops access punch card hidden in the compartment under my desk there. Grab the card and head for Ops.
Boy, I really wasn't, I really was talking for a long time, huh? Because I already got here. Oh, hey. I didn't notice this before. Aw. That, this lovely lady. I hope she gone? Wait, Alan Turing? Yeah.
That first year in London working for Turing, I didn't see Pearl much. Spent all day and night in a government compound, building a computer to crack the Enigma machine. Pearl got pretty fed up with me. I didn't pay her heed. And then one night, I'm out in that complex, and the Blitz starts falling. Next morning, I came home to find nothing but ashes where I last saw her. Nothing but ashes.
Oh no. I was afraid of that. Not that specifically, but I was afraid she was no longer with us. Charles Porter, please consider joining my team. Nazi movement must be kept in check. Alan Turing. Oh, wait, that's not the whole thing. Hang on. Charles Porter, care of Lincoln University. Mr. Porter, I understand you enjoy gift for maths. Stop. Please consider joining my team in Buckinghamshire. Stop. Rising Nazi movement must be kept in check. Stop. Travel arrangements sent ahead. Stop. Time of the essence. What does this say? I can't quite read it. The quickest, surest, and safest way to send money is by telegram or cable. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna save.
Potter's time is done, friend. And now you collude with this traitor to steal the Thinker away from me? Sigma must be removed from the equation.
Thinker, deploy office defenses.
Fiery Brood Splicer?
Wall. He was a brilliant engineer. We saw eye to eye once, long ago, but the splicing made him paranoid, delusional. He'd murder us both to keep the Thinker here.
Well, you could just pay for, like, say if he's going by boat or train, you could just buy those tickets for him or something, and then mail them, I suppose. Babbage. What Porter just said about what's his name? Wall. Perhaps. Oh, so that was the name of the cat. I think I heard that name before. Just forgot. Also, yeah, I was recently reminded of what Schrodinger's cat actually was, which is, you know, if the cat is under the box, you know, like, you know, he was like doing experiments with like radiation and stuff, and it's like, you know, he had a cat in the box, and it's like, well, there's no way to actually tell if the cat is alive or dead unless you actually open the box. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, ow. Where is the threat? Show yourself. Possibly. Again, though, I mean, that is part of why I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, I don't want, you know, like, I don't want another Atlas on my hands, but at the same time, Atlas and Tenenbaum were never friends. Like, from the get-go, they weren't on the same side. Because Atlas is the one who is telling you, hey, you need to harvest the atom out of the Little Sisters, but Tenenbaum was the one, no, wait, there's another way, and she gives you the tonic that allows you to rescue them instead. And from what I understand, Porter is... He seems like he's a friend of Tenenbaum's already, so that's a good sign, I guess. At least he's acquainted with her, I think. But right, yeah. Is considered both alive and dead until you, observe it. Yeah, it was in the first game, but, like, you never actually receive it in this game, so I'm guessing maybe the Alpha series Big Daddies are already infused with it? I don't know.
The Thinker's perfect equation has predicted your every move, Sigma. It knew you would be here. It knows where you will be next. And it knows that you will fail.
Never tell me the odds.
Wall's become obsessed with perfecting his predictive equation. The Thinker can do plenty, but tell the future? No. The splicing drove him mad. Wall can rot here in Rapture for all I care. We'll make a copy of the Thinker and return it to the land of the living.
I'm not sure. Why indeed? Maybe since they were meant to... Maybe since they were meant to be the protectors of the Big Daddy, or of the Little Sisters, rather, excuse me. That was such a... that was such a, like, underwhelming just death moan or whatever, but, can't search the lockers? I can search these ones, but... I guess maybe... Okay, here's my personal theory. Since they were designed to be protectors of the Little Sisters, maybe they put in them some safeguard in case something went wrong with the Little Sisters. So that's why they have the ability to free the The Little Sisters of Adam. That's my personal theory. Might be wrong, but I feel like I'm onto something. Animal magnetism. Forgot about that. Man, with plasmids you can get sex, money, and power. No wonder so many people love it. I love it. Anyway. Thermal cell. Ion laser thermal cells light enemies and objects on fire. Laser tends to do that. So wait, I'm not even actually supposed to be here yet. Ow. Ow! Screw with you. Sure wish I could have the repair plasmid, or tonic rather. Oh, ah! Oh, there you are. Another underwhelming scream. Or death rattle. No, not death rattle. You know what I mean. Oh, hey. Aha, one of them was a little tape thingy.
Atom is a predatory substance.
Tenenbaum.
After exposure, a constant supply is required to maintain its effects. Otherwise, the user deteriorates into madness. My plasmid, which releases the little ones from their servitude, is promising, but limited. It only works on the children with the slugs in their bellies. On an adult splicer or Big Daddy, you'll see rejection effect. Undesirable. But if the deterioration of mind and body were reversible, if Adam's sickness could be cured, then its predatory nature would be no more.
I forgot the Little Sisters have have one of those slugs in their guts. Ugh. It might be, I don't know. Oh, screw it. Careful, Ack. Right, the needle moves slower, right? Pocket spears. Ah!
Porter, you make your monkeys punch the keys. But resign.
Ow. Bullseye.
Come on. Fine.
You too, huh? I will say the nice thing about the spear gun, even though it's not really one of my favorites, or it's, at least in the base game, it was among my least favorite weapons, but I will say one of the things I do like about it is you can regather your weapons, or the spears you launch. Well, the one I just killed, she was saying, like, you know, come out wherever you are. Like, seemingly. The other one, I don't know, she was rambling something about... She was rambling something about Porter. And then I interrupted her with a spear directly in the cranium. What a way to go, bro. Speaking of which. Electromagnetic lock. Now we got Metroid-esque doors, you know? Hey, I mean, I'm not complaining. Right, I'm supposed to come back to his office. Gene tonics.
The Lancer is the most technically advanced Big Daddy that Rapture ever produced. Now it stands between you and the Little Sisters. And if there's anywhere that you'll need Adam to get by, it's Minerva's den.
Oh boy. That is a very cool design. Lancers.
Sorry, no visitors to the Rapture Central Computing mainframe, but you can see Rodin's masterpiece of sculpture that shares its name. Come visit the thing.
Subject Sigma rises above the pack, hmm? A futile gesture before the all-knowing thinker.
Little sisters can either be saved or harvested if you are is right, but the girl will not survive.
Are we gonna be together again, Daddy?
Nothing. It's just, well, so far, but it's more just the fact that they are, it seems more just like, okay, you need Adam to survive in this place. Okay. Well, hey, kill it in one try. That's good. But, it just occurred to me why Lance, like a Lance laser or whatever, why that sounded so familiar. And it's because that was the name of the weapon that the Hussar, the pirate Hussar, has in Metroid Prime 3. Like, has this, like, I think it's called, is it called a light lance or laser lance or something like that. But I was like, oh, right. Like, that's why, like, this weapon thingy, that's why the name sounded so familiar. Old Harbinger beer.
Here's the angel.
We'll do this gathering, and then I'll go ahead and call it. Alright, do your thing, little one.
Do what you will with the girls. Twist your body with Adam. The Thinker's perfect equation accounts for all possibilities.
See the weapon.
Uh-huh.
You better listen to me. I am an adult.
You don't sound like one.
Gary.
Working on it. Okay, maybe I should just talk to the laser. Oh no. Come back here. Ha! Yeah, I wonder. Alright, little one.
I'm always safe with Daddy.
Not if Daddy almost hits, or not if Daddy accidentally presses B. I didn't go down here. Okay. Well, let me go reach that atom thingy-mabobber. What are they called? Gatherer's Garden. Which is somewhat redundant, but you know what? Alright, well. We shall go ahead and call here. But, yeah. Anyway.
Business to run. The pressure. They can't understand.
I'm doing my outro. Do you mind? Anyway. Yeah, so not sure how much more we got of this, but I'm kind of expecting, you know, maybe a few hours, so a few hours worth of material. So, yeah, I'm excited. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao. Oh dear.